Hello everyone and welcome to another episode, video edition this time, of the My Greek Island podcast, as you know, with your hosts, George Tsounyas
and Maria Petrakou. Happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, or as I say in Greek, Chronia Polla.
Chronia Polla.
And it's our, what episode is it?
It's our 100th episode. I can't believe this.
I know, 100 episodes of the My Greek Island podcast, and we thought we'd mark the occasion by
coming to a studio.
I know, it's mad.
It is mad. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'm liking the microphones. It's very different to, people always ask us, like, the sound quality that you record on the audio episodes is really good. How do you do it? And people don't know that we record it separately, usually in our pajamas.
I'm definitely in my pajamas.
Yeah, in pajamas at home on the screen. So this is a bit, it's a bit different.
Yeah. Awkward for me.
Is it? Are you feeling awkward?
Not awkward in that I had to think what I'm going to wear.
Yeah.
So that I'm comfy, because I'm always in my PJs, always with a blanket, my
blanket.
coffee.
Yeah. How are you feeling then? Are you feeling comfortable, ready?
I'm comfortable.
Okay. So ready to get into right, let's get into today's episode then. So first things first, we're gonna reflect on the podcast with when we thought about how we're going to start this 100th episode special is, how did it all start? So how did the My Greek Island podcast come to be?
I mean, I think we've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
But I had the page.
You did.
I had the Instagram page and we were posting when we were in Gythira and Karpathos, we were posting. But you said it as a joke.
I did. I was like,
on a beach. I don't remember which beach we were on.
Yeah. We tried to think about it when we were like planning. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, COVID brought us together.
It did.
Unexpectedly. Indeed. And then I was just like, all these people, like the first holiday we went on, like all these people are messaging Maria and be like, Maria, I'm in Greece. Where should I go? Like, what's good to eat? What's good to see? Where's good to drink? And you were like, right, I'm just going to get my Google pins out and be like, go here, go here.
Yeah.
I think I was just like...
But also, it wasn't just like, go here, go here. Like, in some cases, people were on an island and asking me where to go eat and drink.
Yeah.
And then in other cases, they were trying to decide where to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, you should go there, you should go there. But I already had the page. I was posting. Yeah. So people were reaching out to me. And then we went on another holiday.
We did. And then it's like, we're like 5 holidays down.
Yeah.
You are the Greek travel encyclopedia. How do you feel about that?
To know.
I mean, this is why we came up. Like, I was like, you need to have this as your podcast. Like, we need to do a podcast on Greece, My Greek Island. And
I definitely wouldn't have done it alone. And I definitely don't have the confidence to be sitting and talking by myself, although I love to talk.
You do love to talk. Come on now, Maria. You love to talk.
I do indeed.
So, that's how the podcast started. And so happy that we're doing a 100th episode.
Do you
video and audio.
Did it ever occur to you that we would get this far? No, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we're both quite determined. I mean, you are the main driver, not going to lie. Like, I often just show up. But yeah, because you're so determined and whatever you put your mind to works. So I can't believe we've done 100.
Is it that or is it the planning and then you just sort of fill the gaps?
I think it's a bit of everything. And also, like, we love going to Greece and I love exploring Greece, so like it gives us an extra like, let's discover something new, and we like the similar sort of thing. So I'm not really surprised. I just think 100 is like, wow.
Yeah, it's a great milestone.
It's a great milestone. So big up to us.
Yeah.
I mean, so
well, kudos to you
for the idea,
for the joke on the beach.
Yeah.
But how's it going?
Okay, so with the podcast, one of the things that, I think we both love is the My Greek Island community.
Yes.
Like, we see the community grow. I know you've got the Instagram page at My Greek Island.
Yeah, I realised how much you don't know when we did the live.
Yes.
When I knew something about every single person that was on our live, and you were like, do you know them? And I was like, no, they're followers of the podcast.
Yeah. I think only a few follow my personal account. And
that's true.
They're like an extended member of the like My Greek Island family, and it just...
I do chat to people. I chat to you all the time. So yeah, it was nice. I do like the community. That's one thing that I love a lot. It might be a small community, but it is a dedicated community, and we love chatting to you.
We do.
So
how's
keep getting in touch.
I mean, how's it going for you? Because you are the main driver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the one that's, if you text us, it's 9.9 times out of 10 it's me that you're going to be talking to.
But also like the planning, the hours, your knowledge is going into it also.
I find it a lot of fun. And sometimes, like, for example, when we did the Amorgos episode recently, initially, because it's been quite a while since I went, I was scared planning that episode, and then when we were planning it was just so much fun, because once I get into it I find a lot of joy in designing the episodes.
And you're very creative, so like that sort of...
I discovered my creativity though through my Greek island.
So creative.
Yeah, prior to that I didn't realize how creative I was. And I mean, I love planning, so I think that element is what keeps me going in the podcast. But then once I get into designing an episode, I have so much fun. Yeah,
you do. And also like the guides that you create.
Yeah.
That I mean, if anyone's seen the guides, that's a little plug there. But that you create them from scratch. And I look at them and you're often like, can you just review this? And I'm like, yeah, this looks amazing. Like, do you have any comments? I'm like, well, there's like one typo, but it's like amazing. So if you are interested, check out the My Greek Island website, and you can buy the guides.
Should we tell them though what the guides are?
Yeah, go on then.
Sure. Okay, so there's the top picks, which effectively are my favorite places to eat, drink and explore.
And as a foodie, it's like given you're going to eat and drink well.
Yeah, if you follow the account, you know that I like to eat and drink.
Yes.
So that is the one, that is the top picks. But then there's also itineraries where you can buy a full-blown itinerary about a destination. Currently on the website is Crete, Chania, Rhodes. No, Rhodes is not there. Sorry, that's a mistake.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's coming. It's in the oven. And Santorini is currently out there.
And also the newest addition to the family.
Which is?
The consultations. That's so creative.
Yeah, that is the most creative. That's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
there are if you don't want to buy like the pre-designed books that I create with a lot of joy, you can book a travel consultation. So you've got the Pick My Brain, where effectively you can just, have a half an hour chat with me and pull some information. Or you can get a high level itinerary where you will also get the 30-minute call with me, but you'll also get a small personalized ebook, or if you want, you can get a full-blown itinerary. So you've got 3 options depending on what you're looking at.
And you have like so much fun creating those, because like they're kind of bespoke to what people come through.
They are bespoke
because they fill in a questionnaire, and then you go away creative, and you think about how to
so when you book the service, whichever one of the 3, you will receive a questionnaire, which I personally have designed and planned.
Have another thing,
and George tested it before I aired it. So you'll have to answer quite a few questions, and that will give me an idea about your travel style, your character, what you're looking for, and that will help me narrow down which islands speak to you. So post that, I prepare questions.
You do.
And through during the one-on-one session that you'll have with me on a video Zoom call, I get to ask you lots of questions. You get to give me more information about you, and then I'll propose some destinations which you can go away and think about, and then you can decide, and then I'll give you whatever additional information you need.
Exactly. And you get to have a one-on-one with Maria, which I do all the time, but
like
other people want to do that.
You do.
I mean, the final thing that we often talk about is how amazing it's like, how do people find us? Like, we're like, how do people stumble upon the page or on the podcast, and they like, from all over the world, because we've got listeners like, you know who you are, and we know the statistics, but it's global. So it's so like cool.
And what I think is really interesting is the fact that the majority actually don't find us from Instagram.
Yeah.
They go on Spotify or like on a podcast platform, and they start Googling Greece, and then, I mean, we've got 100 episodes, so we do tend to come up quite a lot. So it's quite cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so cool. I mean, let's move on to some funny moments in the past 100 episodes or our travels together. So have you got any you would like to share? I mean, I made some notes. I made quite a few, but I'm going to have to pick my top.
As well.
Go on then.
All right. So the first one is our first holiday.
Our first holiday,
When So we've mentioned this on the podcast
We
before,
have,
but
yeah.
we didn't know each other very well back then, did we?
We didn't.
And we, through a mutual friend at the time, brought us in touch. I was in Greece. You were in Greece.
Yeah.
You were too embarrassed to call me. Although we'd met before, you were too embarrassed to call me. I called you, or I messaged you, and I said, I'm going to Githira, come.
Yeah.
And you said, it's quite far. I don't know how I'm going to get there. And I said,
my avoidant was like,
not too sure. I can't do that. I don't want to go. Blah, blah, blah. And then I told you to jump on a plane because it had an airport. And you, first of all, you were so impressed that I knew that it had an airport and I'd never been there before. And then you took the leap of faith and got on that plane, but had no idea if I was going to pick you up on the other side.
I know.
And I remember you stressed so much. And the more I meet you, the more I understand that you must have literally stressed so much on that plane.
Yeah.
Number one, because it was a small plane. And then number two, because you had no idea if I was actually going to pick you up, if I was flaky or if I was, you know.
It is like that leap of faith. Yeah. And that was a good...
And I remember you telling me afterwards that, you know, I didn't know if you were going to come.
I've never done that. And like all my friends were like, I can't imagine you ever doing that. I mean, even now I'd be like, unsure.
Because you did say back then, I've never been on holiday before without planning. I was like, do it.
Yeah.
Not that I had been on holiday before without planning, but sure.
I mean, a funny moment or a memory that happens every holiday. I think it was more funny at the start when I didn't know you.
You're going to troll me now, aren't you?
Probably.
Yeah.
But the first thing is like, wherever you go, we're like in a remote island. It's like, I need to get my hair and nails done. I'm like, okay.
So embarrassing.
So like you're arriving, you're like, yeah, I've booked my hair appointment tomorrow at like 11. I'm like, okay, cool. However, we have mentioned it in one of the episodes because it's like a bit of a top tip because you're actually engaging with locals.
Exactly.
So you can get some local knowledge.
By the time I've got my nails and my hair done, I know where to eat and drink.
Because you like your hair and nails always being done. So are your hair and nails done? Yeah. Can confirm.
But one thing I forgot to tell you, did I tell you that I got my hair done in Ithaca when I went?
You did, which is a really small island.
It's a really small island and it's not the first time I've been to this hairdresser. But yeah, sure.
There you go.
Anyway, do you have something else?
I do. I mean, there's so many on here. I think another one that I do find funny, and we've talked about it a lot, is that you do like your washing machines.
I do.
You do like to put on the wash on holiday. Like,
I do.
Day one, can I just wash my clothes? I'm like,
but
okay.
You do also need to say that I travel very lightly.
Yeah, we both do. We're both hand luggage queens.
Were you always a hand luggage queen?
Always. Yeah, because I'm a bit stingy, so I'm not paying for the extra. So like now I'm hand luggage only.
Yeah, whereas I don't enjoy taking a big suitcase with me. So I have to wash. It's not like I want to.
Do.
It's not like I want to.
Yeah. So what about any others? I mean, I've got a few more, but...
Do you remember how much when our first episodes, how much we used to cringe listening to our voices?
I don't listen to them.
Anymore you don't?
No, I still cringe.
You do listen to them. You review them.
I do review them. Yeah, of course. That's
oh my God, you nearly gave me a heart attack that you don't...
No, I do review them, but I don't like have a habit of listening back.
No, but do you remember at the beginning we had to listen back?
Yeah.
And we still listen back to the episodes. We won't listen to them more than once, but we do listen back to make sure that I've not made any mistakes on the editing. And we used to cringe so much. And I remember you used to say to me, oh my God, I can't even listen to myself. And I said, me neither. And then I think 3 episodes in, you sent me a message and you were like, I need to confess something. I love listening to myself.
I said that?
Yes. And then I was like,
I don't do it
me
anymore.
too. But yeah, we used to cringe initially and now we just love listening to our voices. But yeah, sure.
So other few moments is like the various treks and hikes that I've taken you on. I mean, at the start, I didn't know your level of like adventure, which I was like, ooh, this is not going well.
Would you consider me adventurous now? No.
A little bit more, but you have like your risk tolerance is quite low in some respects. I'm like, should we do that? It's a bit. Yeah.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay. Well, we're here to disagree.
I think your risk tolerance is very low. You just have zero risk tolerance when it comes to climbing a mountain.
Yeah, when it's like, others, 100%, like other stuff, I'm really risk averse.
Anything else.
But if I think like a mountain or somewhere to climb, like I can do that, then I'm like, let's go for it.
Anyway, the problem is not that I'm not adventurous. The problem is that George goes too fast and he doesn't wait for me.
I do go fast, but I'm learning to wait and learning to walk slow.
You are learning to wait, that is true.
And the last thing...
So which would you say has been your favourite hike?
The favourite hike is probably the one we did in Carpathos.
Oh,
which
yes.
is quite a long one. And we had to like rush back up the
what
mountain
was
to
the
get
name?
for sunset. Vrugunda.
Vrugunda.
I didn't even have that written down.
The ancient city of Vrugunda.
The ancient city of Vrugunda, which was epic. So if you go to Carpathos, you need to go to ancient city of Vrugunda.
You do. But when you go to Vrugunda, just make sure that you leave enough time to hike back for the sunset, because otherwise you're going to be legging it like we did.
Indeedy. Anything else?
I loved the hike down from Halki last year. In the middle
of the night. That one I didn't like as much as it was pitch black. And there was like goats going like, meh, and I was like, oh, where are they coming from?
Yeah.
So,
should we move on to favourite episodes?
Oh, yeah, favourite episodes. So, favourite episodes. My favourite is probably the first one.
Really? Why?
I think because we didn't know what we're getting ourselves into. Like, we didn't know what was going... Like, it was just like the first one. Like when if you listen to people listen to it back, I feel like we've come a long way.
I don't think I
can
listen to it.
But it was just like the experience. Like we're launching a podcast. Yeah. It's the first episode.
Yeah, maybe we should listen back on it though and see. Yeah, see how far we've come.
Like a reaction to your first episode.
Possibly.
And then the second one is Astypalea. Holds a special place because we loved Astypalea, but also we got some live footage. You interviewed a local hero. In the cafe.
Yeah. We interviewed a few people.
Yeah, we did, and like we went on a cruise, and like I just think
lost the drone.
Maria, lost the drone.
That was such. Yeah, that is not a funny moment.
They're mine. So the first and then Astypalea, and also I really enjoyed doing the bite-sized series. So if you're looking to learn Greek, bite-sized Greek episodes, they were fun to create and do.
I've got Astypalea down as well.
Oh, you have?
It was one of my favourite episodes. Although it was one of the hardest to edit for me because there was quite a few interviews. And if you've not listened to it, you definitely need to listen. It's a 2-part episode. That was one of my favourite. And I've also put basic Greek phrases, which was one of our first episodes and was a lot of fun and one of our most listened to episodes.
Indeed.
And then I've also got random things about Greece.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that episode?
I do, because like the one thing I learned from it, which I remember, was like 80% of Greece is mountains, not islands or sea.
Is that the one that we mentioned it in? I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. It might not be, but that was a fact that I remember.
And then I also put recently our episode on Amorgos, which I've found a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay, so before we move on to the Ask Us Anything, because we got our listeners to send us questions, it's kind of... We've done how it started, how it's going. We're at 100 episodes. So what's next, Maria? As the driver?
For the podcast or in general? For My Greek Island?
My Greek Island.
So I've jotted down a few notes here. Yeah. Other than we've got a few more islands to go to. Well, I've got a few more islands to go to like sort of tick off.
Well, there's 227.
Well, I've been to... Well, the ones that have more than 100 inhabitants, I've been to most of them.
There you go.
So I need to tick off a few more, you need to go to the Cyclades.
I do need to go to the Cyclades. This year was like, I ticked off a big one in the Cyclades, Naxos.
There's
still lots to do. But,
you did.
We're getting there slowly.
So you've done two.
Two.
You've done Githnos and Naxos, but I think next year we need to focus and I need to take you to a few known and some unknown.
Good.
So that's, I think, one thing that we need to do. I also want to be chatting to more local heroes.
Yeah.
Which we need to do. I want to build on the travel consultations because that is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And there's one thing that I've put here which I'd love to do, but then I'm scared to do simultaneously. I'd love us to tour Greece in a camper van.
What?
Which I know both of us will hate.
A camper van?
The practicality. I like the idea.
Okay.
But I think the logistics, both of us will hate.
One thing is the caravan does not have a washing machine or a camper van.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, unsure. I probably could be convinced.
I like the idea of the freedom of like driving around. Yeah. And because you know how much I love to drive.
Well, you are the main driver.
But then when I think about the logistics of sleeping and not having a washing machine... I think I'll struggle. I know you'll struggle.
Let's see. I'll struggle with sleeping.
Yeah.
Full disclosure there.
Yeah.
We'll leave the listeners to understand that. So
Maria snores.
yeah, you said it. But I'm also a light sleeper, so yeah. I mean, I would say let's get to 200 episodes and see the fun that entails.
Maybe more video episodes.
More video, maybe. Yeah. We you know, we need to get sponsors. Would like to get some sponsors on board somehow. We're working
who do you want to sponsor us?
I don't know.
I know who I want to sponsor us.
And then, you know, going global through our community. So we've got a global community of listeners. And
But you mean just more listeners globally?
Yeah.
Not to extend the podcast globally.
No. I mean, it's my Greek island. We're not going to...
Maybe add Mexico.
Yeah, you do love Mexico.
I do.
But,
got a lot to say
so
about
yeah,
it. So
okay, let's move on to the Ask Us Anything. Yeah, from the listeners. So the first question that came in that you collated, and I'm going to read, is when is the best time to ferry between islands? Early morning, midday, or late afternoon?
So there is no right answer here, by the way. I'm going to say what I prefer, and maybe you can say what you prefer.
Okay.
So I personally prefer to leave in the mornings, and that's because number one, you've got the whole day in front of you, you can settle into the new destination, etc. And there is a tendency that the ferries in the morning seem to be less busy. Not the ones from Athens though, but from the islands, you know, depending on what time, less people prefer them because some of them leave super early, and we prefer to leave early.
Yeah.
So like if there's a 7 a.m. ferry, I'm going to be on it.
You're going to be on it, yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I'd say just depends on schedules and stuff, but yeah.
But it depends. It also depends on what times are available. But usually you'll have like early morning, lunchtime, and late afternoon. So depending on what kind of person you are, if you're an early riser like us, take the early one.
Indeed. Okay, the next one, which we can, I mean...
What's your answer to that?
My answer would be like, depends on the... I mean, we're early birds, so preference, but it does depend on the schedule.
But if you had, you could take the ferry any time, what would you prefer?
I mean, I probably wouldn't do... Okay, depends where I'm going. So if I'm going to a destination, to another island where like if you've got like, okay, you are traveling hand luggage. But if you've got luggage and you're like by foot and you can't check in till like 2 p.m, I wouldn't want to lug it around. So I'd probably get a ferry that arrives.
But even when we do go early, there's always somewhere to leave your luggage.
True. I just think it depends on what works for you, really. So following on from that, and it's something you do get a lot in the DMs because you're like, George, I've had this question, and it's a really good question. It is often overwhelming planning a trip to Greece with so many islands, but not just that, with combinations, and also like maybe adding in a city break. Where do you start?
Yeah. So we do mention it on all of the episodes. So on every single episode, we will say how you get there, when's the best time to go, what islands you can combine it with, etc. But if you're still in doubt, book me for a travel consultation.
And I mean, it happens to the best of us because every year we're like, okay, I mean, it's a good point that we record this on video because next year we are going to the small Cyclades and surrounding area.
So you can keep me accountable.
I can keep it because we're always like, we start planning something.
That's my fault.
We're like, okay, we've got this itinerary. Like, oh, actually, let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, but we should do this, or should we go here? And then we end up like, oh, where should we go?
I think the last year I really faffed you around for too much.
You did. So
I told him every single island on the list of islands.
But there are so many combinations, so many islands.
There are, and the way that the ferries work, some are more easily combined with others, and some are sort of often overlooked. Yeah. And shouldn't be.
Have an open mind.
Exactly.
The next one is how do you go about finding places to eat and drink? Because I talked about the Google pins, and I do that now, which is a great thing.
You do, you pin
like,
everything.
I have friends that see it and they're like, oh, this is so good. I was like, Maria taught me this.
Yeah.
But how do you go about finding like the best place?
What to pin?
Yeah, like what to pin.
There's a few things. So first of all, I follow some food and drink awards. So for example, top restaurants in the world, which are not necessarily fine dining, by the way. So if you look at the 100 best restaurants and 100 best bars in the world, I follow those awards and I actually want to go to them at some point. So you'll get a list of people that, are getting known in the scene and the bar scene, the restaurant scene. So I do tend to take notes. I follow a lot of foodies that I trust, and I follow, like I'll pinpoint one or two that I really like that are not commercial, and I'll follow their journeys. And if they go somewhere that I like, pin, and I'll add a note. You can also add notes. So add notes where you've seen that restaurant and why. I read a lot of blogs.
You do.
I also experiment. So if I go somewhere, I will try various places. I ask locals. So a question I ask everywhere I go is, where would you eat? And it's quite a successful question to ask. And then, through the pins, I just get through them.
Yeah. And you also ask when you go for your hair and nail appointment.
Of course.
Where they would go. So
yeah.
Yeah, and I've picked up those sort of tips from you as well. So
you have indeed.
Yeah, I seem to, when I go to places like Touchwood, like I've done quite a few good places. I'm like, oh, this is good. How did you find this? I don't know. I learned from the best. So
you do indeed. You're starting to come up with restaurant recommendations as well. Like, well done, George.
So another question is you seem to cover a lot on the islands. I guess more than the average person.
Oh, they must mean they're like, we do a lot.
Yeah, and the question is like, what is your typical day like? Tiring. Very tiring.
No, I do. No, I don't think it's tiring. We do tend to have naps, but I would say that we are both early risers. We are.
Some more than others. Sometimes you like sometimes go for the sunrise. I'm like, okay, I need to.
Yeah. Although whenever you've said that you're not going to come for a sunrise, you do end up usually coming.
Yeah, I get FOMO. So I'm like, oh, she's going to see it.
He actually does.
So yeah.
Then one thing that I think we tend to do is we're quite strategic in how we move. So if we choose to go to a specific location, we try to do everything in that location. We're also not beach bums, so we do like the beach. Yes. We will go to the beach, but we won't spend more than a couple of hours on each beach. So sometimes we even get 2 or 3 beaches on one day.
I mean, there's always enough time for a siesta because you do like a siesta on the beach.
Yeah, and I don't even need a sunbed.
And also the other thing I would say is that we are kind of like to be in the shade quite a lot. So
I got a tent.
Yeah, we've got a tent, but we look for the shade. So you're not in the sun all day, which will make you exhausted.
We're not.
So you have a little siesta, Maria's tent, or in the shade.
I read a book. You read a book.
Read a book.
You read one last year.
I did actually, but usually you take a book and you never
I never get through it, and I start it at the end of the holiday.
Okay, so something specific to islands is, what island do you recommend with a nice mix of quiet beach vibes and shopping?
Okay, so I asked for clarifications to this person, what type of shopping they meant, and they came back and said more artisan shopping or vintage. So if we're looking at vintage shopping, I must admit that's probably, you're only going to find that probably in the big cities like Athens or Thessaloniki. On most of the islands though, there are usually great artisan shops, right? Mm-hmm. So there will be a craft of some kind. And a couple that come to mind are, so Sifnos is known for pottery. Astipalia also had some great artisan shops, you remember. And I think also pottery. Mm-hmm. And then Amorgos is very known for its arty scene. So you've got a lot happening. But then all Greek islands have great jewellery shops. Yeah. Right?
You're overwhelmed because I always look, I always want, like, with the eye, every year I'm like, I'm going to get something
great jewellery shops.
And then you're like, okay, there's so many shops, like you're spoilt for choice. So most islands will have that.
They will. And also there's some very unique clothes brands that you can find on many of the islands, especially the more like sophisticated islands or that have like a more funky or I don't know shops.
Yeah.
But you do tend to find really great souvenirs on the island, great jewellery, pottery, art. Obviously, in some destinations, you'll find more than others. So like, for example, in Santorini, you have some galleries, which are great to visit. And then when it comes to vintage shopping, I'd probably say Athens is the best place. But then Athens in general has a great shopping scene. Yeah. And Greek brands, which is great.
And the islands that you mentioned also, you can have like quiet beach vibes as well.
I think every island you can find a quiet beach vibe if you want to. Because
even we went to Rhodes last year, which is, quite a busy island, but we found lots of pockets.
You can find loads
of very quiet beaches.
Exactly.
I was also going to add Idra, which is quite close to Athens, for some shopping and also finding some quiet spots.
So it's an arty island though.
It's very... very nice island. Okay, next one is your favourite sunset or sunrise spot.
So, although many people go for the sunset, I love the sunrise in Santorini.
Mm-hmm.
And I also enjoyed the sunrise in Halki. I loved it, absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And then sunset, we're probably going to agree, in Karpathos, in the village of Olimbos.
Yes.
I absolutely loved that sunset.
Yeah, I will also add, because I recently just come back from Naxos, the Temple of Apollo sunset is pretty awesome.
Naxos in general, no matter where you are, on the beachfront as well, you can get some really
But I even put in the notes,
sunsets.
like if you're in Athens, in Glyfada, in the Riviera, like sometimes you can get amazing sunsets there. And I saw one just before I came back and I was like, stunning.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is a slightly controversial one. Most annoying thing about each other. So I'll let you go first.
He's messy.
Yeah.
He's messy. Sorry.
Yeah.
I knew the answer.
No, I mean,
he's going to say, like, she's too
My
tidy.
mum's going to listen to like, yeah, agree.
Shout out to Jilagi, by the way.
Shout out to Jilaki if she gets to this part of the episode.
I didn't Will she agree with that?
Yeah, she would. I would agree with that. I'm clean, but I'm messy.
For anyone that doesn't know, Jilagi is George's mum and our biggest fan, obviously.
Most annoying thing. Okay, well, this one is not going to be a surprise. That we rarely travel together because you're mainly like flying.
I'm the travel queen.
You're a travel queen, Star Alliance or BA, and I'm more of like, if the price is right, I'll go with it. So true. I will fly with that. So we don't often get to travel together.
But why is that annoying for you?
Because
it's annoying that I'm the travel queen.
You're like, okay, I'm going here. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But also when we have traveled together, that is also actually, this is the second part, is that you just fall asleep.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, I just slept through all that turbulence. I'm like, the plane was shaking. Like, did you not feel that? That is annoying.
Which flight was it that we travelled together?
And there was loads of turbulence.
But which holiday was that?
I can't remember.
Was it Astibalia?
Maybe.
It must have been Astibalia.
But we were flying from London to Athens and it was really bumpy. And
we were flying from London to Athens. We were not seated together, obviously. And as soon as we landed and opened our phones, the first message I got from you was, you slept through that?
Yeah.
Because you were like, sure.
I was like this, holding for dear life. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I sleep anywhere.
But what is your favourite thing? What is your favourite thing about
You're the kindest person I know. You see, I had them both ready.
Okay.
And I've not even taken any notes, by the way.
Okay.
You're the kindest person I know.
Okay.
You're the fact that the messages that you send whenever I fly without you are like the absolute sweetest.
Yeah.
You're the most fun person to record a podcast with. Ooh. I would not have reached 100 episodes with anyone else.
Aw, that's sweet.
That's like, you have nothing nice to say about me, do you?
I haven't, it's blank. Because I need to think about... No, to be fair, one of the... my favourite thing about you, obviously you're very kind and blah, 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 but you're just so knowledgeable, about so many things, and you can, bring it's not just knowledgeable, you know what you're talking about, and it's really hard to find someone that you can actually talk with on various topics, and they actually have a sound...
And we talk about everything.
Yeah, and you can, really have, you learn a lot. And also, you're very, very determined.
Do you think?
Yeah. We've got 100 episodes. It wouldn't have been because of me. I just show up sometimes.
Yeah, you rock up.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do we ever have... someone what is this question? Do you have arguments?
No, because
I'm very diplomatic.
But no, it's not just diplomatic. You literally know how to diffuse every situation. And I admire you for that.
Yeah.
Whereas I literally just kick off on one, but I don't think we have arguments because I'd never get angry at you. Once
I did nearly feel the wrath of Maria because I was like, something was happening and I was like, calm down, don't tell me to calm down. I was like, okay, I'm never going to tell Maria to calm down again.
You shouldn't tell anyone to calm down. Because my mum was like,
don't tell me to calm down. Like,
yeah, it's patronising.
I know it is, but I don't know, it's just such a good comeback.
And now he deliberately says, all right, hon, calm down.
Right, hon. Final question. Favourite holiday to date, with or without each other?
Or should we do one with and one without?
Okay, go on then.
I think my favourite with is Karpathos.
Okay.
We had a lot of fun in Karpathos.
Yeah.
Do you not agree?
I do agree. I put Astibalia because it was just, I don't know.
I think Astibalia was our favourite destination.
I put Rhodes because we had a great time, but I did put if we did not do as much driving. because we covered the whole island.
Yeah, it was tiring.
100 times.
But we found on the back of that,
And
we did find a top hack.
We did. And we also we had friends on the islands that we bumped into. Well, your friends, my friends. Yeah. It was just like...
Yeah, unplanned.
And which
was brilliant.
Without each other? Mine would probably be going somewhere like Japan or Thailand.
You're not going to say Greece?
No.
I think we should say Greece.
Oh, in Greece. Okay. Didn't prepare for that one.
You've got Naxos?
No. Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice.
Yeah, do you have any?
Now I'm on the spot.
You've got Idra?
Idra was very nice. Chalkidiki. There's lots. Yeah. But the ones that stand out outside of Greece. So, yeah.
Because, I mean, if it's outside of Greece, for me, it's going to be Mexico.
It is going to be Mexico.
Like, no questions asked. Yeah. But I think in Greece without you...
There wasn't a time without me. I mean, not there wasn't. Sorry,
I've done like 40 odd islands without you. I mean,
there's like whatever.
Maybe Gassos. I think when I went to Gassos before. Because do you remember when you came and you met me in Garpathos and you were like, "My God, you're so zen."
Yeah.
Because Gassos was such a nice.
That did have a funny story though.
Yeah, I got locked out.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
But I think we've said it before on an episode. I'm not going to repeat it. It's too embarrassing.
You have to go back and listen to our catalogue. Okay, quick fire questions. We're going to do like 3 or 4 each, yeah?
Yeah.
And we actually don't, we've not prepared
no idea.
them. We don't know, so it's like whatever goes. Shall I go first?
Go on then.
Okay. What is your go-to order in a taverna?
What is my go-to order in that salada?
Yeah, Greek salad. Which is actually not...
Actually not. No, it would be horta vrasta.
Yeah, which is...
boiled greens, and they put like olive oil and lemon and salt on top. What else? Well, I don't eat the moussaka and all of that.
Okay. Well, no, it's for you.
Probably a fish.
Fish, okay.
Some type of fish.
Nice.
Oh my God. What do I order?
Well, you eat a lot of food, so I
do.
Thought you'd be like boom, 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 boom.
Indeed.
Ceviche.
The thing is, though, I think the first thing that I'm thinking about when I sit at like a taverna, we're talking about taverna now, right?
Yeah, taverna, yeah.
I'm thinking about the drink.
You are.
That you don't drink, and I end up drinking yours as well.
I do have wine.
Tsipuro, I would say, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you do. You usually have mine as well.
I'm like dying to get to the taverna to like order tsipuro, which you don't get in London. So... yeah, what would be yours?
Oh, it was my quick fire question to you, not... Okay,
fine,
if you want mine would be a Greek salad, choriadiki, because it's not Greek salad in Greek, it's... Choriadiki. Greek salad, moussaka, which I don't eat. Love moussaka.
Yeah.
It would be fried courgettes, maybe...
Which I don't eat.
Yeah, fried courgettes.
And yet we still manage to find stuff to share.
And probably something consisting of cheese or like a dip. Yeah, that is...
Which I need Gaviscon for, but sure. Okay, shall I...
Yeah.
What is your favourite Greek phrase or word, and what does it mean?
Favourite Greek phrase? That's not rude.
Yeah, let's not go with a rude one.
I mean, one that doesn't have a translation, I do actually say it a lot when I'm, like, bantering. It's like, bo.
Oh, yeah.
Which you can't... It means, like... I don't know what
it doesn't translate.
Maybe translate
to
it as like, oh my God, but not. It doesn't mean oh my God.
It's like oh.
Yeah, it's like oh, but like in Greece, like family. If you say something like I don't know, something really trivial, like
it could mean so many things.
Like, yeah. So that is yeah.
And it's literally just repeating the same word, which is
bo.
Yeah. Which doesn't mean anything, but sure.
Okay, if you could only visit 3 more islands in your life, which would they be?
Not ones I've been to before.
Can be whatever.
Siginos.
Okay. Come on, hon, we don't go all day.
Castellorizo, which I've been to, but I want to go again.
I really want... Castellorizo is the furthest island from Greece.
I can't believe we didn't go last year when we were in Rhodes.
Furthest island from Greece.
And...
In Greece.
Castos.
Castos, okay. That's in the Ionian, right?
So I've literally given 3. So I've given one in the Dodecanese, one
Castos
in the Cyclades.
is one that it's nice if you're sailing and go around.
Yeah. I actually want to go and stay though.
Okay, cool.
And apparently there's a really nice cocktail bar there.
Okay. So
which I need to try out. My turn, right?
Yes.
One thing that people would never suspect about you.
One thing.
I mean, I can answer that.
Yeah, maybe you answer it and see if I agree.
That you watch cheesy TV
Oh,
programs.
yeah, reality TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm a reality TV junkie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that. I also like, I mean, maybe people would know if they follow, but I love reggaeton.
Yeah, you do love reggaeton. We both love reggaeton.
We do, yeah. Okay, next one is, oh, best part of the My Greek Island podcast other than me.
Best cut. I think it's designing the episodes.
Yeah. You're meant to say like interacting with the community.
For the community.
Yeah,
because you said the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I meant like the brand, My Greek Island brand.
Yeah, then that would have been interacting with
clarified.
everyone. You should have clarified.
Okay. I've got two more after this, so you can...
Can I ask one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just, how long we've got left.
What is your must-have beach accessory?
Other than the Speedo, which always makes me... To be fair, now is my foldable towel, which is like a quick dry towel that goes in this little bag. Yeah. I'm not going to tell the brand, but we all know.
So it's three, everyone. It's his Speedos, his little hat.
Oh, the hat. And the hat.
And
yes.
the towel.
So the hat and the towel. But yeah, that hat is good. If you could have one guest on the podcast, who would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one. There's so many people that I want on the podcast. First of all, I've got a long list of chefs that I want on the podcast.
You do, but it needs to be one. Like you need to... It's quick fire.
I know it's quick fire, but that's a hard question. Let's go with Asimagis.
Okay.
Asimagis Chaniotis.
Okay.
The chef who earned his Michelin star at Pietraterre.
Okay.
In London, and now I also visited the restaurant in Kefalonia, which he designed the menu.
Okay, next question.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah. Keeping you on track.
One motto that you live by.
I'm not a motto.
Yes, there is. There's one.
There really?
Yes, that you learned from me.
I'm not very good at these quick fire ones. I mean, what is it?
I think it's what I told you in Githira.
Oh, about the universe.
Yeah.
The universe has... Well, I don't know if I live by it.
You kind of do.
I did at the time. It's yes, no, wait. Wait, what was it?
Does he remember?
Was... There's only 3 answers. Not yet.
Yeah.
I've got something better.
Yeah.
Or yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. There you go. But I don't know if I live by it. Maybe I do subconsciously. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, you've said it to me a few times. I thought that you'd live by it.
Okay, I'm going to do a final question, which is going to be very related to...
Do I have more questions?
I've just got one more question for you. I mean, I've got others, but I mean, the others are going to take forever.
Fine.
So the last one, which has to be really quick fire, and I want to know whatever comes first. You are in Athens for 24 hours.
Right.
Where would you go for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and drinks?
Breakfast. Okay, so breakfast, either... Can I say 2?
No, you should say 1 for each. Breakfast.
That's a hard... Okay, mikolonagi.
Okay, lunch?
I can't remember the name. It's on Bullies. It's not on Bullies. It's Birdman.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, third for dinner?
For dinner, I'm going to go to... Oh my God, this is so hard. I can't decide.
Oh, you haven't got
I need my Google map.
You need your pins out. Okay.
I do need my pins out. Where am I going for dinner? Agra.
Okay. And for drinks?
For drinks, I'm going to Fadis.
Okay.
For a Negroni. The best Negroni in Athens.
Okay, there you go. You heard it first. If you're in Athens, you need to try it out.
Yeah.
Have you got a last question for me? Are we going to come to an end?
I want to go for dinner now.
Okay, we are going for dinner.
But yeah, like I feel like I want to go somewhere else for dinner.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to change my choice.
Okay, go on then.
For dinner, I want to go to Linus Ombasis.
Okay.
And Sia.
We're going to have to put this in the show notes because I don't even know.
Yeah. They're all in the Athens Guide, by the way.
Okay.
All of my favourite places to eat and drink. But not even I can decide where to go because there's so many options.
Hun.
My last question. What is the most stunning view you've ever seen in Greece?
Wow. Okay, I know what that is. It's going to be for me in Athens, on the hill, Philopappou Hill. We've
been up there together
We've been
as
there,
well.
and it's I don't know, it's just amazing. it's better than
Yeah, the
being on the
views.
path and not on the Acropolis. It's like opposite. It's just,
And it's
if you're in
peaceful as
Athens,
well, and less
Philopapou
people.
Hill, it's usually quite quiet. Yes, it gets busy, but it doesn't get anywhere near as busy as anywhere else.
That
and
is
it's
true.
amazing.
That's true.
And you do feel like that sort of energy, which I'm not into the energies, but I do feel the energy. So yeah, anything else before we wrap up this episode?
I want to ask more questions.
Okay, well.
Have you learned any travel hacks from our
Loads.
trips?
Travel hacks. Okay, so the
Yes.
Google Pins.
Yeah.
I've learned, the Google Pins.
That's it?
I mean, I've learned to like do a lot.
Yeah.
Inquire, speak with the locals. Yeah.
Should we share where we're going this year?
Go on then. Have we decided? Because you said that let's have a think about where we're going because we might need change.
No, this year, not next
Yeah,
year.
okay.
We've booked everything.
We have,
Are we
yeah.
changing our minds?
Well, we might be changing some of the accommodation.
No. So I think the only thing that we need to fine tune is the fact that we have on one night we have 2 accommodations
Okay,
booked.
fine.
That's the only thing we need to iron out.
Yeah, okay, fine.
We're
so
not
where
changing
are we going?
anything.
Let's say where we're going because we're doing quite a lot this summer.
We are doing quite a lot. So initially I go to Patmos. Solo.
Yeah.
Then where are you going?
I'm going to Kalimnos, which is where it's actually not my granddad, it's my great-granddad. I've said to everyone it's my granddad. My great-granddad was from Kalimnos.
And you're there
Sponge
to discover.
diver, so I'm going there with my aunt. And then we're meeting in... Lipsi, very small island. Apparently it's 8 kilometers long, so we might
So we're going to run
or
it.
walk. Yeah, and then...
And then we head to an island called Arki.
Even smaller.
2 accommodation options, I think, or 3 on the entire island. I also want to go to another island next to that, but you're not too keen.
We'll see.
And then we go to Leros.
And then we go...
And then we're heading to Kos to head back to London.
And then we go home.
And we fly together.
We
Can
are
you
flying
believe it?
together. How amazing.
And guess who's going to be sleeping on that plane?
Yeah, Maria.
Okay. I think that's a wrap. What do you think?
I think it is. We've said a lot.
We have said a lot. It was a lot of fun, I must admit. But shall we give a Greek phrase?
I mean, yeah, it's a custom that at the end of every episode we give a Greek phrase for this episode. So what is it going to be today?
Shall we say that whether or not we've enjoyed our video recording?
Well, I hope so. I hope you've enjoyed it. But yeah, let's go. Say it.
So, as a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so σου άρεσε που κάναμε το podcast σε βίντεο σήμερα, Γιώργο?
Πάρα πολύ. Μου άρεσε πάρα πολύ. So I liked it a lot.
Very much. So I asked, did you like doing the podcast in video form today?
Yeah. Okay. That's a wrap. So
that is a wrap. So remember to follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, share with the world.
Yeah. Book in your consultation with Maria.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to support the show, you know that we also have a Patreon. But until then, we will see you on the next episode.
Γεια σας.
Γεια σας.